Hello, everybody, and welcome to the new studio, to the new year, to a new time, and to the new releases show. My name is Brandon, and I am coming to you live from the store's media room that we're going to be developing over the next few days and weeks and months. And hoping to get this place looking pretty snazzy. We've got a temporary setup right now. You can see over to the side, we have our original signage from back in the day. This was on our first and second location. It came with us, and we took it. We took it with us. Took it with our bare hands. And it's been kind of living in spaces kind of haphazardly. And I'm thinking of incorporating it a little bit into the backdrop somehow in this space. Now, it might mean the camera's a little bit further back, and we play a little bit with how we do things here, but we will see. For now, this is what we have. So take a look. I know it's kind of plain, but I'm hoping to get a few things going here. If you take a look to, I guess, on my stage left, your right. I know how this works. You'll see these wonderful cross stitches that my girlfriend Megan made. Very, very happy about these. Got them for Christmas. Because it's been that long since I've seen you all. It's been the Christmas season, New Year's, and now we're here. Yeah. I love this shirt. I love it so much. I found it one day with another one that just says "Into the Sea." And it really suited my purposes for those few days. It was really nice. Well, let's give some updates. Let's talk some stuff. In the last little while, shipping has still been an absolute nightmare for comics. An update on how things are going. We do not have last week's or this week's DC comics yet. Same with Image. Now, those all should be here either tomorrow or Thursday. Tracking says we should be seeing them on Wednesday and this week's Image on Thursday. Now, a lot of this was coming down to the fact that a lot of publishers were having trouble getting product to distributors. And the distributors are just kind of doing their best to keep things going. Sean with the, hey, nice look, very fancy. Hope you burned down the shower curtain. No, those curtains are still up at the house, facing the deck. But they've seen better days, and they will be changed out over the course of this year. I'm changing a lot of things about how I'm operating over this next little while. So some of that is here, and some of that is definitely home stuff. And I've gotten back to doing my my agenda book, which always keeps me nice and focused and going forward. And I'm just hoping to kind of get my life in order this year after last year's absolute chaos. Not that there was only bad that happened to me last year. Ended the year basically being very optimistic about my personal life and the store going forward, which is really good. And, after 2024 of just absolute nightmarishness, I'm just hoping to kind of push through and see where this year's going to take us, because what a lot of you don't know, well, maybe a lot of you would probably know if I tell you anyways, this coming year in May, we'll be celebrating our 10th anniversary. I like to say we are a variant of Dish 10 this year. And I'm going to do a little tweak to our logo to see if I can't run a thing for this year. So are you swimming again too? I have started up again. I've taken this last week off because I did catch a little bit of a cold. And I'm kind of at the tail end of that. Speaking of which, I was like, hey, I'm actually doing pretty good. And then I just felt it well up inside of me as though speaking it brought it out. Well, so there's a lot that has happened in comics, not just that everything's delayed. Diamond is sort of catching up. Instead of being 2 weeks behind, they're now only 1 week behind. So we have last week's Diamond product here, as well as stuff that should have been to us 2 weeks ago. And honestly, I've just been pushing through and wishing, as always, that all of the publishers just skipped the last shipping week of the year, whether that's like around the 31st, going to the 1st. Just skip it. It's a nightmare anyways. A lot of places are closed. A lot of shippers have weird days. Things are going to get to us late. Just take a breather. Let us all relax. If a store really needs the sales, they can run a big sale. Everything will be fine. Because I know there's always a lot of pushback on, well, if they skip a week, what are we going to do from a lot of comic stores in terms of people's weekly habits and all that kind of stuff. And to that, I say, like, I don't know, grow up. There's so many people who can't come over the holiday season because they're everywhere anyways. Like, let them have a breather too. Let everyone's budget have a breather for a week, you know? Calm it down. Cats and kittens. Sorry, every now and then I'm popping over to the Instagram live just to see if there's any comments, because those don't pop up on here. All right, friends. Let's talk some comics. I'm going to try something a little different today and see if I can't make this work. And I'm not going to do it for everything. Some of them I am going to kind of do on this, but I wanted to feature sort of like a top 5 of interesting releases over the past 3 weeks. This is a mix of stuff from the last little while and some of my favorite reads that I read, and one particular favorite that I've been reading over the course of this year. So first up, we have Dust to Dust. This came out 2 or 3 weeks ago. It is a beautiful story written and drawn by J.G. Jones, who did the art for Wanted and Final Crisis and a few other things. The art is absolutely gorgeous. I can I will show you some interior work here, because this came out a little while ago. So you can't really quite see the detail from there, but you can see the beautiful brushwork and just the attention to detail on there. Absolutely gorgeous. Now the story itself. It is as solicited, an unforgettable yarn of desperation, murder, and resilience in a beautifully hand-painted story of Americana in the primal grip of brutality. In the darkest days of the Great Depression, death stalks the Death Bowl, or the Dust Bowl. As towering dust storms blast the parched Oklahoma panhandle, farmers try and flee the falling town of New Hope, but no one gets far. Battling his own demons, Sheriff Meadows teams up with Sarah, a traveling photojournalist, in a desperate fight to stop a serial killer on the loose, the death that rides the dusters. So a lot of this first issue is place setting, but there's a lot of creepiness that's sort of built into the roots of this book. It is beautiful. I can't wait to get to the rest of the series, and I think it's going to make an amazing collection one day. And yeah, like the atmosphere and the art is just like in and of its own, it's selling this book for me. Normally, I would like a little more substance from a first issue because this is a lot of place setting, and they don't really get to the push of the plot until very, very late in the issue. But I discovered that it ended up working out pretty. It will end up working out pretty well in the long run. And like I said, I'm more than happy to look at all those pages over and over again. We have Metamorpho from DC. This is the return of Steve Lieber to doing some artwork. You might know Steve Lieber as the artist who did the Jimmy Olsen series with Matt Fraction, one of my absolute favorites of all time. And that sort of whimsical storytelling, that hint of modern Silver Age storytelling, is really on display here. Everything from the colors to the styling to the way that different pages are shown definitely has that Silver Age flair to it. And as you can tell, even the speech bubbles, they kind of stylize in an older handwritten style as well. So you're getting classic Silver Age style storytelling with a lot of a modern flair to it. Hey, yeah, I decided to try and send out little invites, especially because this is at a new time. So I wanted people to be aware that the time of this show is now shifted to 7 p.m. And that's when I'm going to be doing it going forward. What I did today, because I was really done at 5 o'clock, I hung out. I kind of tried to spruce a few things in the store, get another few things down, and work on this new format a little bit. And had some food from Namaste, a great Indian place just across the road. So yeah. Hey. Well, thank you all for showing up. I really appreciate this. For those of you joining a little bit later, I do have a little bit of a cold that I'm working through, so please bear with me. All right, Metamorpho from Al Ewing and Steve Lieber, bringing a ruckus Silver Age flair to modern comics. To know him is to love him, that fab freak who can change himself into any element in the human body. He's the one and only Rex Mason, alias Metamorpho. But can he win out against Cyclops, the hairy eyeball of crime that gazes from the top of the pop charts to the lowest depths of evil? And even into the far off, far out raw realm? To find out, the Element Man must survive a hand-picked assassin who can match him change for change. And that is just the first issue. Join us for this covalent bond of friends and foes in a brand new ongoing series. And like I said, it is fun. I really enjoy this book, and I am so excited that comics can do so much of everything. You can get something from the range of this kind of super the hyper realistic kind of sepia hand painted story about serial killing and the Depression, and Metamorpho. Metamorpho. There we go. It's hard to do this. Hi. I'm gonna see if I've got one of these that I know is. That is the sound button that my nieces helped me make for cheering I need to get them to make some more buttons, and I need to fix a bunch of these in general. Honestly, I think we also did one of these. The new question series is really good. In hindsight, I should have realized that Alex Segura would be writing a very good mystery as part of it, because he is now he's written like 4 or 5 mystery novels. And back in the day, he actually used to be DC's head of PR and worked there, went to Archie, and then I think back to DC, and now is more of a freelance. And did an amazing job of the new question series. It is basically like a high-tech whodunit on the Justice League satellite. Yeah, a Renee Montoya one, Jonathan. But honestly, like a really good one. I have no notes for them. And comic stores should have some extra copies of issue 1. I'm assuming, because DC did a slight little bit of an overship on question number 1. So I know I have some of those kicking around too. Next up, When I Lay My Vengeance Upon Thee. Now, I have not been able to read this yet, but I have been able to page through to the art, and it is wholly unique. It is very much what you're seeing on... I'm going to get this eventually, because it's reverse. It's very much the style that you're seeing on the cover. That is not a bait and switch. This is sort of like the kind of luscious colors and difference that you're going to find there. We've got a little bit of the interior going on there. This is from Gus Moreno and Jacob Rebelka. Jacob Rebelka has done a few amazing series over the last few years, and mostly for Boom. And I'm very excited for him to really be catching on a little bit more here. So here's what we've got here. Father Barrera is a disgraced priest haunted by his part in the tragic death of a child. As penance, he is exiled to the remote South American town of Puerto Cristiana to apprentice under the enigmatic Father Stygian, a controversial exorcist. Exorcists are commonly trained in the Vatican, but Stygian has his own way of handling demons, methods that predate even the church. And unfortunately for Barrera, Stygian's last apprentice committed suicide not too long ago. As Barrera seeks to unlock the mysteries of Stygian's strange practices, he uncovers an island rife with evil and supernatural phenomena. What do these possessions mean, and how are they connected to a mysterious hospital patient, one who's been in a coma for nearly half a century without aging a single day? This is by, as they say here, Gus Moreno, whose debut novel, This Thing Between Us, was awarded Best Book of 2021 by NPR. So that's actually pretty freaking cool. If I read this and I'm really enjoying it, I'm absolutely going to buy that book. Because we can order books here too, by the way. If you're ever wondering where's a good local place to order books, you can go to our website at variantedmonton.com, and you can search for any book your heart desires. And if it says we can special order it in, or we have it in stock, then we can absolutely bring it in, or just already have it in hand for you. All right, next up, we're ping-ponging a little bit all over the place. It's War on Gaza. And admittedly, this is a tough one. So, for those of you who don't know, Joe Sacco, the cartoonist behind this, is well known as a chronicler of Palestinian pain. He did the graphic novel Palestine in 1993 and Footnotes on Gaza in 2010. He continues this self-created tradition in War on Gaza, a series of graphic commentaries on Israel's genocidal war on Gaza that has been going on nonstop for the last year. Originally published in installments on the Comics Journal's website, War on Gaza is a series of comics continuities and single panels as morally devastating as the war itself, employing his trademark combination of earnestness, compassion, satire, and dark humor. Sacco's War on Gaza is a relentless critique of Israel's warmongering and President Joe Biden's complicity. Joe Sacco has done a lot of in-depth journalism in this area and has produced many great graphic novels to that effect. And one sec. And also did, I want to try and get this right, a graphic novel on just like journalism in general, I want to say. But let me just take a quick look here. But his work is renowned. He does the work. He talks with people on the ground. So a lot of it's very personal, but a lot of it is also highly researched and comes from someone who definitely knows the region and has been there and has done a lot of reportage there as well. Okay. So I was thinking of something else. It's not a journalism one. It's the book called Paying the Land, which was named a best book of 2020 by the New York Times, The Guardian, The Brooklyn Rail, The Globe and Mail, Pop Matters, Comics Beat, and Publishers Weekly. And it is about the indigenous North Americans and resource extraction and our debt to the natural world. So a lot of solid journalism in there as well. All right. Absolutely, Jonathan, I can do that. And the best part, since I'm still at the store, I just write down a note and I go downstairs. All right. And last on my kind of top 5 that I have in hand, I should say, we have I Heart Skull Crusher. This is the first collection of the I Heart Skull Crusher series from Josie Campbell and Alessio Zono. This is so much fun. I absolutely love this book. It is essentially, what if they did Mad Max as a sports manga? And it's absolutely wonderful. I need it to get into a lot of people's hands, and I'm making sure that that's happening at the store here. So to describe the series, teenage Trini will do anything to compete in her favorite sport, screaming paintball, alongside with her crush and hero, the legendary player Skull Crusher. So when tyrant ruler Queen Mob announces a national tournament open to everyone, it's up to Trini to put together a team of misfits, cross the American waste, and win Mob's deadly competition. With Trini's dreams of being just like her idol on the line, what will it take for her to win a coveted spot on Skull Crusher's team? With hope in her heart and an ice pick in her hand, Trini will never stop chasing her dreams, taking us along for one of the funniest, queerest, craziest, bloodiest underdog tales of all time. It is really good. Sean agrees. And he is right. All right, we are going to talk about a few books that are not here yet. So this week, this week and last week, there's a couple of new number ones from DC. First one is Justice League: The Atom Project. This is a very decidedly sci-fi tale featuring the various atoms as they exist. They have come together to basically solve more of the sciencey end of mysteries happening in the DC universe. This is from writers John Ridley and Ryan Parrott, with art by Mike Perkins. who you might all know from the latest run of Swamp Thing that happened a little while ago. It's the greatest power in the DC universe, and also its deadliest weapon. In the wake of absolute power, the superpowers on Earth are in chaos, and it's up to the newly formed Justice League to restore order to that chaos. Enter Ray Palmer and Ryan Choi, together as the heroes called Atom. These brilliant minds get to work crafting the world's first superpower reallocation and backup system, codenamed the Atom Project. But not everyone wants their powers back, and Captain Atom is hellbent on preventing his missing atomic abilities from ever being found. And yeah, it talks about the creative team as they go down the rabbit hole of an intense atomic-fueled spy thriller that will drop change on the DCU like an atomic bomb. Next up, Baba. Oh, come on. The machine works. Eventually, the machine works. There we go. It's the new Aquaman from Jeremy Adams and John Timms. You might know them from Flash and Green Lantern. Jeremy Adams, he's the current Green Lantern czar. And John Timms just did a run of Action Comics, and he was one of the main artists on Harley Quinn for a while there. New powers, new mission. The king is back, baby. In the wake of absolute power, Arthur Curry's powers have evolved to new heights. And this is one king ready to use them to kick some serious butt. Mammoth water construct Kaijus has emerged from each of the 7 seas. Oh, mammoth water constructed kaijus, not the water construct Kaijus. Brandon, have emerged from each of the depths of the 7 seas, and only Aquaman's water warping abilities can stop them. But if they kill the good king in the process, that won't be good. Enter Dagon, Arthur's guide on the quest to unlock the secrets of the blue. But what deadly secrets await Arthur on his journey? So it's basically Aquaman versus kaijus, which I think is a really solid plan for an Aquaman book. Like, that's a pitch that I actually haven't come across before. And it's natural. Like, kaijus tend to come up from the water. There you go, buddy. All right. We got 2 more on the old slide here. We've got Death of Copra. This is going to be the finale of the Copra series from writer-artist Michel Fiffe. He's been working on this for, I believe, the better part. Whoa, Brandon. Better part of 8 or 10 years at this point. Working through and hopping around from doing just publishing on his own all the way through to some collaborations with Image. This is a collaboration with Image, getting the last story arc of Copra out and into the hands of people. All told, I believe this will be 50 issues plus a little bit of spin-off stuff, which is an absolute monster of a run for someone who has just been doing it all on their own steam, and a lot of times without a publisher, just printing them on their own, getting them to publishers, getting into getting it all to retailers, and then into the hands directly to readers. There's also a run of this that he is doing in a self-published version to his subscribers. So that is really cool. For those of you who don't know, Copra is an awesome series that basically takes the Suicide Squad style of team, but pushes it into decidedly indie comics territory. And it is absolutely brilliant. You get a lot of this deep felt nostalgia for a lot of 80s and 90s comic books, but done in a wonderful, brilliant kind of modern art style. And I love it. And finally, we have Lucky Devils. from the creative team that brought you 8 Billion Genies, which we still have a few copies of our store exclusive hardcover dust jackets that go with the books, and they come with signed book plates as well. We picked a bonkers cover for ours, and we really like it. Now, Lucky Devils is their follow-up series, and it has a similar feeling premise to 8 Billion Genies in spirit anyways, because 8 Billion Genies is the story of how one day everyone on Earth gets a genie and they get a wish, and things keep going until it's my brain thinking. Things keep progressing until the last person makes their wish, and what the consequences of all of that are over the course of, I believe, like thousands and thousands of years. It was a really great series. Now, Lucky Devils. Good Omens meets Curse Words in this new series from the duo behind the smash hit 8 Billion Genies. The Lucky Devils is the tale of two rebellious demons who decide to start a revolution in hell, and the two ordinary 20-something humans they're going to manipulate to do it. A cheeky satirical look at good and evil, The Lucky Devils explores Faustian bargains and the temptation in a rip-roaring, hilarious new way. All right. And that kind of does it for the preview screen stuff. Boot. Back to full scale. I've got a little stacky here of books, and we're going to bomb through them pretty quickly here. You'll notice a disproportionate amount of Marvel to everything else. And again, that is because our last couple weeks of everything else is not here, but will be on by mid-Wednesday or early Thursday. So I will be here at 8 a.m. tomorrow to do some work and to hopefully catch the first round of deliveries so that they don't have to loop back around later. And we'll see how that goes. All right, going through new releases, we've got new champions. This features a whole bunch of characters that were originally on covers in Marvel and are essentially junior versions of a lot of different superheroes. Now, how? Why? All those answers are in the book. Eventually, anyways. This is from Steve Fox, who Marvel's been trusting with a lot of their more younger character books, and has been doing some very interesting ideas with art from Ivan Fiorelli and Ig Guara. We have the facsimile edition of the first issue of Fantastic Four from back in the days, with a beautiful blank variant cover for you to get people to do the arts on, or yourself to do the arts on. This is a full facsimile, which means you're getting all of the old ads, including how to gain up to 50 pounds of mighty muscles. Oh, you could find out. All you have to do is send off this mail. Oh, formerly $5 each. Millions of these are sold now at $1. So yeah, just little things for $1. Learn how to get a mighty chest, a mighty arm, a mighty back, a mighty grip, and a mighty legs. A mighty legs. We also have What If Mickey and Friends Became the Fantastic Four, the next in a series of What If Disney actual comics that came about after Marvel's now on their third year of doing covers in this similar vein. They've been starting to tell some stories, and they're a lot of fun. Another end of What If. There's a lot of What If Galactus stories this month. There'll be 5 issues in total. There's Hulk and Gambit for sure, Moon Knight, Spider-Gwen, and I can't remember who the last one is, but they're all different one-issue stories about what if those characters became the Herald of Galactus. We also have the return of Deadpool Wolverine, now an ongoing series from Ben Percy and Joshua Cassera. You might know that creative team from X-Force. They were doing a bunch of that for a while. And it is a very stabby, funny book. Speaking of stabby funny, Kidpool and Spider Boy. This came out, and there's an absolutely new character in Kidpool. Definitely has a super wacky vibe. I would say kind of very Gwenpool style, but definitely its own thing. And teaming up with Spider Boy, one of the biggest new characters in the past little while. We have the new Captain America series featuring Sam Wilson, and he is fighting the big old Red Hulk just in time for Red Hulk to be showing up in some Thunderbolts movie coming out very soon. We have a double shot of Cable, First in Time slide, which is Marvel's kind of now traditional year-end, hey, here's a little kind of sneak preview of a lot of big story ideas that we have coming in the new year. Put inside a story. This story features something that's really trying to undo all of the strands of time, really bad news. And it's up to the two big bad future boys, Cable and Bishop, to team up to solve that problem. And then we also have an actual Cable book that's taking place in the modern X-Men line. And yeah, it's very shooty. It is a little Mad Maxy, but that's kind of what we want from our Cable, like a little bit of future, a little bit of Mad Max. And finally, we have the first issue of Magic, also taking place in this new X-Men line. This is by Ashley Allen and Hermine Peralta. The island nation of Krakoa was safe haven for our mutants, but now that is no more. Mutants find themselves once again displaced across the globe with magic, and X-Men pushing back against an unjust world. This is obviously doing more of the mystical realm stuff. I'm showing some pages because I can. Some very pretty art, and the story was a lot of fun. But yeah, definitely if you're looking for the corner of the X-Men universe that does a little bit of demony stuff. And finally this week, thank you all for sticking with me for this long. I am cooking in this room because there's a heat vent in here that just really goes off a lot. We have Man's Best from Pornstack Pichecho and Jesse Lonergan, two of my favorite creators in the past little while. This is sort of like a We Three in Space-ish. Homeward bound on an alien planet, Man's Best follows three emotional support pets living on the Starship Horizon, a spacecraft searching for a new planet to house a humanity comprised by bad decisions and corporate corruption. But after the ship crashes and their crew is captured, these loyal pets are their owner's only hope. Outfitted in outrageous mech suits, these three best friends must traverse a hostile world to rescue their owners, leaving them the only hope for humanity that might not be worth saving, in an adventure threatening to tear their friendship apart. All right, that's going to do it for this first episode here at the store. I hope things went well. I hope things didn't get too glitchy. I think the internet here, the way that I have it hooked up, is actually going to work out a lot better. And hopefully over the next, like I said, weeks and months, you'll see an evolution of this space becoming a little more usable and used for a lot more interesting videos, not just this, but some of our social media stuff will be going out using the stuff that I'm using here. So I hope you're all doing well. I hope the new year has been treating you all well. And yeah, I will see you all again soon, hopefully. And yeah, we'll go from there. All right, folks. We'll talk to you again soon. Bye.